Today we're going to be talking about something that they just showed us in Alpha 1 livestream, the gathering professions. Now you might be thinking, I don't care about gathering, all I want to do is fight. I just want to fight. But you will have to do gathering, and let me explain why. Because at the end of every month, your node will become attacked, either by human people, players, like you and I, or by the Horde, an angry mob of monsters. Now at first I thought the Horde was just another fun element to the game, but upon further consideration, now I think it has a purpose, and let me explain that purpose. Let's say I have a node, and my friend Chibi Bree has a node to the left of me, and my other friend Makinoji has a node to the right of me. Now they're my friends in real life, and they don't want to attack me, because they like me, and I like them. So what happens if they don't attack me? Well, then the game becomes meaningless and boring, and there's nothing to do with my money. What? What am I talking about? Let me explain. Imagine that you have a node, and there you are, hunting, gathering, chopping wood, and then one day, your node becomes attacked. If you lose everything. So the first thing you want to do is go out and armor up and weapon up, so the next time your node gets attacked, you can defend it. That's even if your node is still there. It might be completely destroyed. If you successfully defend your node, the first thing you're going to want to do is armor up and weapon up as well. Because next time the attack comes, it's going to be stronger, and you have to be ready for it. Now if you are the attacker, the person who does the attacking, and you don't get through the defenses, you have to go home and armor up and weapon up to try harder next time. If you do attack the node and knock it down and whatnot, you have to armor up and weapon up to defend the node that you just conquered. Both sides have to armor up and weapon up and level up every time there's a node war. And there's going to be a node war every month. How do I know? Because of the existence of the Horde. Like I said, Chibi and Maki, they probably won't attack me because they're my friends in real life. But what if DJ Vertec decides to attack me? Then the cycle begins. But what if nobody attacks me? Then the Horde attacks me. And because the Horde attacks me, here's what happens. If the Horde wins, I have to armor up and level up to get my node back. If the Horde is defeated, business goes on as usual. My node grows up a level, and so do the monsters that attack it. Because the monsters level up when your node levels up. If you have a node 3, your monsters are level 3. When your node levels up to 4, the monsters around it also level up to 4. So the Horde continually gets stronger, which means you have to armor up and weapon up to defend yourself against the Horde. Now, why am I talking about this? Because in order to get money to armor up and weapon up, you need to gather. And that's what today's video is all about. Now the first thing we saw in the Alpha 1 preview livestream is Forestry. Here they are chopping down a tree. I like how the tree falls down, but the person doing this probably received a little notification on their screen telling them what they had just harvested. 3 birch logs or 3 maple logs, something like that. Now when they run into the forest, the tree grows back, but it doesn't grow back in the same exact spot. It grows back in a specific area. Now, why does this happen? Why does the tree grow back when you're not looking at it? Well, because if it didn't grow back, Vera would go bald. And second, the reason it doesn't go back in the same exact spot is, let's say this is a very rare tree. In fact, let's call it the very rare tree. You would be able to cut it down, run into the forest, run back, and chop down that very rare tree all over again, getting another 3 wood. You do this 50 times, and all of a sudden you have 150 very rare wood logs, which you take into town and you sell for 1,000,000 gold. Now Steven doesn't want that to happen, so the tree doesn't grow back in the exact same spot, it grows back in a specific area. The question is, how big is this area? If it's only 20 feet by 20 feet, that tree will be easy to find. But if it's 20 acres by 20 acres, good luck trying to find that tree again. Now if the tree that you cut down is not a very rare tree, and it's just a common tree like a birch or an elm, then there may be a lot of them in that area, and it doesn't really matter where they grow back, because they're easy to find. That means that in the shops, the common wood, like elm and birch, might sell for lower amounts, like 500 gold, while the very rare tree sells for 10,000 gold. Maybe only 1 in 1,000 trees are very rare. So you won't be able to mine that very rare tree every day as part of your daily grind. What you will be able to mine are rocks, like these cool ones they showed in the live stream. Now in Black Desert Online, this is how mining works. You go up into the mountains and the hills, and you find these nuggets nestled among boulders, and you hit them with your pickaxe. I think that's exactly how mining in Ashes is going to work. However, it may be a little different because the rocks on Vera glow in the dark. There may be some rocks that look plain and ordinary by day, but glow with their own life at night, making them easier to mine at night. There could be night mining in Ashes. So the materials that we get from mining will be used in various recipes. Of course, they will be used by blacksmiths and furniture makers and things like that. But they could also appear in fertilizer recipes for farming, because if your soil in real life is too alkaline, you add sulfur to it to bring down the pH. And if your soil is too acidic, you add lime to it to bring the pH up to make it more alkaline. Lime and sulfur are both rocks, which you can obtain by mining. Now I don't think the farming in Ashes will be that in-depth, but in Black Desert there is a moisture map and a temperature map. Ashes could easily add a soil composition map, and that brings us to farming. Now in Black Desert, the farming isn't that fun. You can't even tell the plants from the weeds. But in Ashes, the farms are beautiful. Take a look at this one. Gorgeous. I wish my real life garden looked this pretty. Now in Ashes, you'll be able to grow a variety of vegetables. Just common things like potatoes and wheat and turnips. But they might not be called that. They might be called votatoes and vernips and wheat. We don't know. It all depends on Steven's imagination. Of course, the vegetables will be used in cooking recipes, and probably alchemy recipes, just like in other MMOs. As well as growing vegetables on your farm, you'll be able to have animals, like cows and chickens. Both have been confirmed. Cows will give you meat and dairy, and chickens will give you eggs and meat. By the way, eggs might be used in fertilizer recipes too, because egg shells are made of calcium. Calcium is a rock, by the way, and chickens get it by pecking at the ground. They accidentally eat something called grit. Now that grit usually gets pooped out, but the calcium stays in their body and forms the chicken egg. It's thought that dinosaurs did that too. Isn't that interesting? Speaking of animals, you probably won't be able to have fish on your farm, but we don't know. We've asked this question many times and never received an answer. But you will be able to go fishing in Ashes, and while you're doing that, workers would be tending your fields. When your node levels up to a certain requirement, you will be able to hire NPCs to work your farm. Now fishing in Ashes is kind of interesting and a little bit controversial. As you can see from the live stream, there isn't a mini game involved. It's more like Animal Crossing style fishing. You push the spacebar when you see it wiggle. I don't know how I feel about this. How do you feel about it? Fishing is usually a peaceful activity, so having to do a stressful thing right in the middle of it kind of takes me out of the moment. However, it is stressful in real life, because some fish don't want to be reeled in and you have to fight with them. I could take both sides of this argument, but what do you think? Do you think Ashes should have Animal Crossing style fishing? Or do you think there should be a minigame? Do you think maybe there is a minigame, but they haven't programmed it yet? Or do you think this is the final product? Fish will of course be used in cooking recipes, and maybe even healing potions, since we know that fish oil is very beneficial to human health, especially when you have a heart attack, and you will have one when you see a dragon for the first time. Besides dragons, there will be other wondrous creatures in this game, and a lot of them, especially in the animal husbandry profession. Now, That's a profession and not a gathering, but catching wild animals and taming them is a gathering, and that's what we'll be doing in Ashes. A long time ago I speculated if there would be ropes, and then a little after that we saw ropes, and now I'm thinking ropes will be a thing, and that is how you catch wild animals. To process the wild animals, you train them up. This usually involves riding them around for a while. You can also breed them and sell their offspring, or just level them up and sell them for more money later. Now the creatures you create in Ashes will be fantastical. You can breed an octopus and a penguin, or a chimpanzee and a zebra. Anything you can imagine. And that's going to be awesome. Thank you for watching my gathering video. Please leave a like and a comment below. See you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.